What is cracking, Rocky Harder Tribe? How are you guys doing? Hope everyone is alive and kicking and rocking the hell out of this life. Welcome to This Day in Metal. This Day in Metal, 36 years ago, July 27th, 1984, Metallica released Ride the Lightning. And it was a game changer for Metallica, a game changer for the subgenre. It was a big one. So yeah, like I said, July 27th, 1984. It was recorded between February 20th and March 14th, 1984 at Sweet Silence, Copenhagen, Denmark. That was the studio it was recorded in. And yeah, it was a game changer because their first album, Kill 'Em All, was just a really aggressive, fast-tempoed, in-your-face album. It just sounded like a bunch of kids picking up their instruments, their weapons, and just knocking it out, man. Just getting so excited to get the music out there, you know. Whereas this album sounds a lot more refined, a lot more dynamic. They improved on a lot of things, and that is because Cliff Burton, the bassist, actually taught the band music theory. You know, the band with Kill 'Em All, they didn't really know music theory. They just knew how to pick up their instruments and just do whatever they could do to make a sound. Whereas this album, a lot more music theory. They introduced their acoustic songs, and Cliff Burton actually showed James Hetfield, you know, how to improve on his harmony and things like that. So a much bigger album. And it's funny because they had such a short time to record it. It was recorded between February 20th and March 14th. That is not even a month. That is not even a month of studio time to get this album together. And that's because they actually had scheduled shows 29 days after they first entered the studio. So they had less than a month to put this together. But it doesn't sound rushed. The album doesn't sound rushed because they really focused. They focused on getting the sound right, and they spent every day in the studio making it happen. And that's crazy, man, because it was actually quite a grand album. The budget was $20,000 for this album, and it ended up costing $30,000, and that's, I think, $70,000 in today's currency. So it was an expensive album to make. It really was. And their American label, Megaforce, didn't actually have the money. Their European label, it was Music for Nations, actually covered the cost for that studio time. So it was a big album, and it sounds big, and surprising that they had such a short period to put it all together. It just turned out to be a fantastic album. Unfortunately, because of that whole issue with Megaforce and them not being able to cover costs, and even afterwards, they didn't really put a lot of effort into promoting the band and the album. So Metallica fired them, and they signed with Elektra Records, who at the time were signing everyone. I mean, Motley Crue and a whole bunch of different bands were signed to Elektra Records. So naturally they went on to to sign with Elektra Records. And Elektra Records were very good at promoting bands. Another thing, this was Metallica's last album to feature Dave Mustaine. Of course, Dave Mustaine went on to form Megadeth, but this was his last ride with Metallica, and he received credit on the title track, and the Call of Cthulhu was two songs that he was credited for. Once again, you wouldn't think that this album was put together so quickly, because it got an incredible reception. Of course, all the big songs from it, Creeping Death and For Whom the Bell Tolls and Fade to Black. I mean, those were big epic songs at the time, and still are, you know, fan favorites. People still love hearing those songs. And it's just memorable. Everything about the album is memorable. Name, Ride the Lightning, and of course the cover is actually taken from Stephen King's novel The Stand. By late 1984, 85,000 copies of Ride the Lightning had been sold in Europe, resulting in Metallica's first cover story for Kerrang. It peaked at number 100 on the Billboard 200 with no radio exposure. No radio exposure. The songs were never played on the radio, and yet it peaked at number 100. That is incredible. You know, that just goes to show how big this album was. That means they were purchasing the album to listen to the music, and so that goes to show the 85,000 copies. No joke, man. That was a lot of sales at the time, and in 2012 certified 6 times platinum. So it really is a big album, and it just hasn't lost its popularity at all. And that's because the songs are just so powerful. The songs are just something at the time. They were just something new, something that thrash metal hadn't seen. I don't even think metal had seen an album that was so well rounded, and each song was just so refined. It almost sounds like each song was taken and molded and treated like a child. So with saying that, let's check out the track listing. Every song just put together so well, man, and just no surprise that it was such a big one for Metallica and for the genre. Quick trivia from Wikipedia. In 2016, the album was remastered and reissued in a limited edition deluxe box set with an expanded track listing and bonus content. The deluxe edition set includes the original album on vinyl and CD with an additional vinyl record containing a live show recorded in Los Angeles, a picture disc containing the Creeping Death single track list, 6 CDs of live recordings, interviews, rough mixes and demos recorded from 1984 to 1985, and 1 DVD of live shows and interviews with the band. So if you are a Metallica fan and you haven't got your hands on this, it sounds like it's something that you should get. Definitely. I mean, I would. Anyway, that's it, man. That's the album of the day. Let me know what you guys think, Metallica fans. I know you guys love this one. I have a lot of friends who are into Metallica, and Ride the Lightning is always, you know, they always say this is the best. I mean, Ride the Lightning was just Metallica. Of course, everyone says Master of the Puppets. They sold out. The Black Album was just, come on, man. They went after the money. This was still Metallica at its heyday, with no ulterior motives, just to prove that they are a rocking band that can put music together and make people just jump out their seats. And it is. So let me know in the comments. I can't wait to read them, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.